Right now on Up with KREM, one day after a deadly shooting in Minneapolis, there was a second shooting involving federal agents, this time in Oregon. What Portland city officials are saying.
And a lot of our big winter weather is gone for this week, but we're still waking up to patchy fog and icy road conditions.
The Gonzaga Bulldogs are waking up victorious. We have the highlights and hear from players after their win against Santa Clara.
It's Friday, January 9th.
Up with KREM begins now.
We start off the 6 o'clock hour by saying good morning. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez. We want to get right to talking about our weather forecast.
It's cold.
It is chilly outside. Hey, today's actually the last day meteorologist Thomas Patrick is off, so this is it for me for weather.
Excited Thomas will be back.
Yeah, he will be back.
Back together.
As is per usual, he came back to calmer weather. We are much calmer now than we have been. The only thing we are seeing right now is some visibility issues. We have some patchy fog that's moving its way through. It's patchy, but where it is, it's fairly dense. So you can see this half-mile marker just west of Spokane there. That's pretty much the only spot this morning seeing some fog. The only other spot is out on the Idaho-Montana border, way out at the South Panhandle area. Today we are pretty clear here in town for now. This live look here, you can see over Coeur d'Alene, not much fog or snow. It's looking good. 30 degrees right now.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact this morning from I-90 in Havana. Off to a good start here on this Friday morning as we get going here. But again, as Nicole mentioned, some of those roads could be a little bit icy this morning. We're still at 28 degrees at this hour. It hasn't changed much. In fact, I think it dropped a degree, so it's still very cold outside. You may encounter some slick spots, especially in residential areas. So give yourself a few extra minutes this morning, and we'll keep a close eye on traffic throughout the morning. 6:02 this morning, the FBI is investigating another shooting involving federal agents, this time in Portland, Oregon.
This shooting happened the day after ICE agents shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis. On social media, the Department of Homeland Security said the shooting in Portland happened during a traffic stop. The agents were stopping two people who they say have ties to a Venezuelan gang. DHS says the driver, quote, weaponized the vehicle and tried to run over agents. That's when they shot their guns and hit the two people. Both went to a nearby hospital. No agents were injured.
We know what the federal government says happened here. There was a time when we could take them at their word. That time is long past.
Portland's mayor is saying now federal immigration operations need to end in Portland until there has been a full and independent investigation. Now, there have been protests across the country, first for the shooting in Minneapolis and now in Portland. This was one out in Seattle last night. Someone did light an American flag on fire, but overall the protests were peaceful. People were just expressing their frustration with the shootings. And this was also a vigil for Renee Good, the woman who ICE agents shot and killed on Wednesday in Minneapolis.
Right now, the families in the Moscow murders are suing Washington State University. They claim the school knew about Brian Kohberger's concerning and predatory behavior and failed to act. The families of Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves claims Kohberger, a former WSU student and employee, had a known history of threatening, stalking, and predatory behavior. New details in the suit reveal some female students had to get security escorts because they feared Kohberger. The lawsuit claims WSU employees discussed intervening, with one telling a coworker to email her 911 if she needed help. The families are asking for a jury trial and for an undetermined amount of monetary damages.
Washington State might start transferring offenders from juvenile facilities to adult prisons sooner than usual. So Washington law right now required juveniles convicted of serious violent crimes only be transferred to adult prisons at the age of 25. But the state says that rule has caused overcrowding at juvenile detention facilities. The Department of Children, Youth and Families wants to be able now to transfer offenders over the age of 21. It would only, though, be for the inmates with sentences that would last past the age of 25 and who are not eligible for early release. And they would only make a transfer like this if a facility is over capacity.
Without these additional tools, as much as we want to serve young people with as much education and rehabilitation as possible, And regardless of our belief on whether a crime was committed or what the just sentence is, what we have before us is what DCYF has to address.
Lawmakers in Olympia will debate these proposed changes this year. Advocates for juvenile offenders say they will fight against this bill. Well, here locally, the Downtown Spokane Partnership officially launches a new monthly art competition today.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the whole goal of the First Friday Face-Off is to support community spirit. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is all about community spirit. So good morning, Brandon. Tell us all about it.
Yes. Oh, good morning, Tim, Nicole. I love everything about this. This is really a unique and kind of just neat addition here to the community. I've got Keely Gray with the Downtown Spokane Partnership, and we've been talking about this event. It's happening tonight. How excited are you for this First Friday?
I'm really excited. Getting all the supplies and everything together has been really fun, just because it's been kind of this imagining process in my head of what it's going to be like, and plotting out the venue and just making it really fun. And also my coworkers and I have been figuring out how to make the space really exciting. Everybody's really just pumped for this. So I'm really excited for the community to get here so that they can feel the energy. The artists are excited. We've gotten a great response from local artists who want to be a part of it. So we're pumped, man.
Well, what can we expect tonight?
Oh, tonight's going to be great. So we have 2 local artists who are going to go face to face for the First Friday Face-Off. 2 hours. That's all they have. We've got supplies here that they have not seen before. Yep. Wow. So they only have what we've provided them. There's a couple of allotments that we've made just because of the genre of art that these artists particularly like. But they get to come in cold turkey, get their supplies, and then they can't start painting on that canvas until we say go.
That is so cool. That is so cool. That sounds like something out of Netflix, like a good reality show right there. 2 hours.
That's a great idea.
How does the judging process work for this?
Oh man, so we have a public voting, which is really exciting. So each person, when they come in, you'll be greeted by a lovely DSP member. You'll be given a poker chip, and that poker chip is your vote. So we're going to have a container next to each artist, and you're going to drop your poker chip in whichever one you like the best, and whoever gets the most poker chips wins the January First Friday Face-Off battle.
And this is every month, right? And there's going to be a winner each month, right?
Yep, every month. And then the artist that wins for each month becomes the poster artist for next month. And then we're going to have a big showdown for our brushes and bows in December, which if you've ever come downtown for Marion Magical Kickoff, we have the big trees that are outside, and we have got artists live painting. That will be the final battle royale where we will name the Spokane Artist of the Year.
Keely, you've got me excited for this. I hope you all are excited as well. So 5 o'clock tonight here at the Parquet Plaza. It's going to be a great time. First Friday officially kicking off for the year. Keely, thank you so much. We'll toss it back to you in the studio.
Sounds like a lot of fun. We want to let you know that our KREM 2 News family is growing. We're welcoming a new team member on Monday, just a few days away now. Here's a hint if you want to take a guess. She's from the area and is excited to be back home. All right, so join us January 12th, that's Monday, to welcome KREM's new evening anchor on KREM 2 News at 6 p.m.
So right now it looks like we have a band of moisture that's moving overhead over Mac, Moses, Lake, Othello, basically through central Washington. I've been looking at our live cameras from the Washington State Department of Transportation, though, and it doesn't look like much, if any, of this is really hitting the ground or causing any impact. For right now, the rest of us in eastern Washington and North Idaho, totally clear. The good news is we mostly stay clear with just a few scattered shower potentials for the rest of the day. Forecast high temperatures today looking pretty decent. We end up in the mid to high 30s, and some of us even potentially 40 degrees today.
Now, your Northern Quest Sports Desk.
Well, the Gonzaga men's basketball team was looking for a little revenge in this game against the Santa Clara team that came into the kennel and beat the Zags last season. The first half was a back and forth affair, and we were tied at halftime. But from the jump, this game felt personal to one Graham Ike. He was on fire offensively all night long. But every time GU made a run, Santa Clara just refused to go away. Then finally, midway through the second half, half, the Zags would pull away for good. A 21-2 run was enough to open up the breathing room that GU needed. EK had a 34-point, 11-rebound double-double. Emmanuel Innocenti had 13 points, and Braden Huff chipped in 12 as the Zags knock off Santa Clara 89-77.
It'd be nice if we wouldn't create our own adversity, with the turnovers and things like that. So, Santa Clara can bring some adversity, man. The way they pressure the ball, they pick up full court, they basically jam your rebounder. So if he gets a defensive rebound, they're right on him, so it's tough to advance the ball and get our break going. I just thought we adjusted to that way better in the second half.
We knew they would get it up from the three-point range, especially after last year, what happened here in this building. We definitely wanted to defend home court better than we did last year, and I thought we did a better job of that and taking away some of their strengths at that three-point line.
The Zags now have a week off before they face Washington State in Pullman on Thursday night. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. That's all for sports.